Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
وعليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Bismillah. Alhamdulillah. So it's been 2 weeks since I last spoke to you all. I'm very happy to be back. Alhamdulillah. And I'm glad you are all here as well. Alhamdulillah, these 2 weeks have been very active with the quizzes. Alhamdulillah, you've all done very, very well, which I'm happy. The others that haven't yet finished their quiz, inshallah, catch up and do your best to ask other students questions if you need help. You have the videos, you have the PDFs. And always remember, it's the two types of people that won't gain knowledge, the arrogant person and the shy person. So we don't want, when it comes to seeking knowledge, we don't want to be either of those two. May Allah protect us from that and give us beneficial knowledge. Ameen. Okay, Alhamdulillah. So this page, lesson 15. From lesson 15, we said, you haven't signed out because you're currently signed in on another device. Hello? Ustad Sadiq?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yes.
I got a message came up on my screen saying I'm signed out because someone else signed in. Any issues, or is it you can hear me fine?
Yeah.
No,
Yes.
can see you fine.
Okay, cool.
Continue. I think my brother Muhammad.
So from lesson 15, we said we are going to delve into pronouns and all of their different types. And so far we covered relative pronouns, demonstrative pronouns, and attached pronouns. Okay. This is the last lessons that we covered. Demonstrative pronouns, or ismun ishara here. Ismul ishara are the pronouns where you have to point and you have to show some kind of body language, either pointing with your eyes or with your hands or some kind of signal to make it make sense. Whether it's here or whether it's close to you or whether it's far to you, you need to physically demonstrate what you're talking about. Otherwise, it's not entirely clear. So that's ismul ishara. هذا هؤلاء هذه أولئك تلك, etc. Then we have ismul mawsul, relative pronouns, where we're giving more information about the subject that we're talking about. So that man over there with the red hat, the one with the red hat, alladhi, or the one who passed the test. So we're giving more clarity and more information to describe the subject that we're talking about. The test that was very hard, or the test which was very difficult. That is ismun mawsula, and it's relative. It's related to something else, the subject. Alladhi, allati, alladhina, allati, etc. Those are the most common. Then we have attached pronouns. Ad-dama'irul mutassila. Attached pronouns. Attached pronouns and detached pronouns have different functions within Arabic. In Arabic, attached pronouns are possessive. So we have hu, huma, hum, ha, huma, hunna, and then when we attach them to an object or we attach them to a verb, it becomes possessive. So kitabuhu, his book. Kitabuhuma, their book. Kitabuha, her book. So attached pronouns act as possessives in Arabic. Okay. And while detached pronouns, they don't act as possessives. They're different. They have a different function. Detached pronouns. And that's what we are going to start today. And this is the verb version for attached. But now we will go to detached. Inshallah, lesson 17. Detached pronouns. الضمائر منفصلة or الضمائر فاعل, the doer. Detached or the doer. This is what we would understand as personal pronouns. Okay. And we'll start with the Arabic, inshallah, and then we'll go through them. So first, and we want to learn this in this order. Okay, so when you learn the detached pronouns, you want to learn this order. It's the same order as the attached and the other tables that we will come. So make sure you memorize in the same way. So Bismillah. And practice this, because I'm going to ask you, I'm going to select some students to say it out loud as well. Okay, so start practicing from now. Huwa humma hum, hiya humma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. Ana nahnu. So, third person. What is the third person in Arabic? Who can tell me that? Who can put their mic on and tell me how do you say third person in Arabic? Or in the chats. You can say it in the chats if you
غايب.
Ghaib. Perfect. So someone who's not there, they're not present. You're talking, you and your friend are talking about someone else. Hopefully good things and not bad things. So you're talking about someone who's a ghaib, they're not there. And you will use the word huwa, he, if it's a male, mudhakkir. If you're talking about two people who are not present, use the dual version, humma, with an extra alif, with a mim and alif, humma, humma. And if you're talking about lots of people who are not present, they're all ghaib, then you, ghaib and jam, you will say hum. So to talk about a group of 3 or more people who are not present, you say hum. Then if they are female, you say hiya. If there's 2 females that you're talking about, humma. So humma and humma are the same. The dual for masculine and feminine are the same. As you can see here, humma and humma. And if you're talking about more than 2, so 3 or more, you say hunna. Hunna. Okay. Now we move on to second person. What's the Arabic for second person?
حاضر.
Hadir. Good. Hadir means they're present. They're in your company. You're talking to them. Hadir, hadir. Good. Alhamdulillah. So we have anta. First person, singular, mufrad, and male, mudhakkar. Anta. Anta. 2 people that you're talking to directly, they're present and they're both male. Antuma. Antuma. And if you're talking to a group, antum. So anta, antuma, antum. Then we have, if you're talking to a female, anti. If you're talking to 2 females, antuma. So antuma and antuma are the same, as you can see. So the dual form for male and feminine are the same. And if you're talking to a group of females, you will say antunna, antunna. What's the Arabic for first person?
متكلم.
Mutakallam, the person that is speaking. I.e. right now I am speaking, so I will use the word I. And in Arabic you say ana. Ana. And if we are doing something or we are speaking and there's more than one of us, we will say nahnu. So we will use the first pronoun, mutakallim, jam, nahnu. And nahnu is the same for dual and plural. That's why it's not on the list. It's ana, nahnu, nahnu. I hope that is clear for everyone. I'm going to give you 1 minute to practice, and then I'm going to select some people to speak, inshallah. And I want you to say it like this: Huwa humma hum, hiya humma hunna, anta antuma antunna, antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. So just continuous flow of the chart. And I'll give you its.
I have a quick question. Sorry to interrupt you. You, you mentioned something right at the beginning, and I don't want you to just carry on without me understanding this bit, if that's okay. Sorry. You mentioned that Dama'ir al-Munfasil. So just touching back on what attached pronouns are, right? You said they are what we would regard as possessive pronouns in English, right?
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah, that's these ones. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Now, the detached pronouns, you mentioned that they are what we would call, and I'm so sorry, I was taking notes, but I completely missed out the bit that you used. So how would you describe that in the English grammar?
So you can use the word personal pronouns. These
Personal.
these are personal pronouns.
Jazakallah khair.
But stick to in Arabic they don't really use that term. So stick to attached and detached. So try to stick to attached and detached. Okay.
Okay.
Good. Any other questions in future? Try to put them in the chat for now, until we come to kind of a question section later on, inshallah. But thank you for that. Is it Antum or Antunna if there are two males and one female? So there are rules for if there's mixed, and usually the masculine takes precedence. So if there's mixed, you would never use the female version. But if it's all females, then you use the female version. Okay. What are the words in brackets for first person? Let me see. Two and so this is that is regarding the verbs. So when it's talking about verbs, I think, but I need to double check that. So I'll come back to you on that, inshallah. Okay. So I will give you 1 more minute to memorize this list, and then I will pick 4 or 5 people to go through it, inshallah. I'm trying to get the whole thing. So huwa humma hum, hiya humma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu. Ana nahnu. Okay, you've got 1 minute left. I hope you're practicing in your mind and saying it out loud. Actually, you should be saying it out loud to yourself at the moment. Say it out loud. Just like when you're reading Quran, it's better to pronounce loudly and speak out loud.
Ustad Hamza, there's a question you may not have seen. I'm just, wondering about with the number of students we have, would you prefer students to raise their hands if you want them to answer, or you're happy for them to?
For this section, I'm just going to pick 5 random students just to go through it. They will make mistakes and they will be shy, but this is how, inshallah, we will get them to.
Yeah, I think the question was about when you ask a question, for example, what is third person? People are saying Babi. Would you prefer hands raised or you're okay with them unmuting?
At the moment, that's fine. We'll see how that goes.
Okay,
those were easy questions, so it'll be fine, inshallah. Okay, it's 20 past. So the first person I'm going to pick will be our brother Asad. Inshallah, you go first.
What would you like me to do? Just shout out? Or...
So just, try to do the list, and try to do it. I'm not going to cover them because that might be too hard on the first go. But try your best to say them without looking, if you can.
Okay, طيب. Huwa, third person for he, humma.
No, just do the Arabic. So huwa, humma, hum.
Okay.
Hiya, humma, hunna, like that.
Cool. Huwa. Okay. Huwa, humma, hum. Hiya, humma, هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن.
Good, mashallah. For the feminine singular, make sure you say the T, the kasra, and T. But good, well done. Very good for your first try online in front of everyone. Alhamdulillah. And the next person I will pick will be sister. I'm picking at random, so I'm not. And do your best. You know, if you make mistakes, this is the place where you're supposed to make mistakes. The classroom is the safe space where you make mistakes so that you get used to it, and you know it's you learn from it, inshallah. So the next person I will pick is Sister Rima. If you can recite the detached pronouns for me, please.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum assalam.
Am I actually looking at the table and reading, yeah?
You can look at it. If you can do it without looking, it's better. I'm not going to cover it up because I think that's too mean on the first time that I've asked you guys to do this. So
Okay,
I'll
for
leave
now,
it
I'm just
there.
going to read from the table if that's okay.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, Bismillah. Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, sorry, I'm just going to zoom in. Anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu.
Perfect. Good. Well done. Okay, next person. We will go to Brother Rafi Rahman.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam. Bismillah.
Bismillah. So sorry, I just joined just now, sorry. So you want me to say the 14?
Yeah.
Okay.
Inshallah. If you can do it without looking, that's better. And everyone who's listening, try to close your eyes and practice it in your head so that when I come to you, you can do it without looking. But you, at the moment, as you like, inshallah.
Okay. Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu.
Perfect. Alhamdulillah. So that is 3 people. We'll give 2 more people, inshallah. We'll go for Sister Sonia Yasmin.
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antunna, ana nahnu.
Fantastic. Good. Perfect. And the last person, we will go for Brother Muhammad. There's no second name on it, it's just Muhammad. Brother Muhammad? Okay. When you want to have a try, then you can raise your hands and have a try, inshallah. For now, I'll move on to Iftikhar. Brother Iftikhar.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam.
Huwa huma hum, hiya huma hun, anta antuma antum, anti antuma antun, ana nahnu.
Good, alhamdulillah. For the plural of feminine, with the noon is shadda, so it's antunna. Antunna.
Yeah.
But good, alhamdulillah, good try. And this is what I want, this is something that everyone has to do. You have to say this list 5 times, 10 times, 15 times until it becomes normal for you, and you know it's something every Arabic student has to do. So the more you do it, the better it will be for you later on, inshallah. And so it comes out naturally, and you know what they mean. Alhamdulillah. So the main takeaway for this is just a list that you have to memorize. This is the main takeaway. There's no other points to it. This is simply a list that you will have to memorize, inshallah. Like the others, like the Muslim chart, and like the attached pronouns, huwa, huma, hum, ha, huma, hunna. It's just another list that you have to memorize, inshallah. And you will get tested, I believe, in the revision class. So practice every day, and the revision class teachers will repeat it, inshallah. Ustaz Sadiq, before we move on, is there anything else on lesson 17?
I think would it be useful to see how many are comfortable with this, because this is really important.
Should we do a few more students?
Yeah, or you can just see a raise of hands, or I don't know where you're going to ask, that don't know it or that do know it, just to get a gauge.
Okay. Okay, so at the moment there's, everyone who is comfortable. I don't think anyone will be comfortable with it right now.
I think some students know this.
Yeah. Okay. Okay. If you're familiar,
or you
with
can
what...
do the other way around. Reverse
may,
question.
may I suggest, Ustad,
Yep.
ask for the newer students, and those who already know, that's fine. Those who are new, not to feel shy and just go through them, even with looking. So the more they read, it will be easier and more faster they can do it. It will be,
Yeah.
we get clearer in their head.
Yes.
I think the new, there are some of us here from module 2 as well. So the newer student, module 1 student, is good for them to come forward and do it.
Okay, Alhamdulillah. So anyone who is just in module 1 and not part of module 2, even if I haven't picked your name, come forward now and have a go, inshallah. So raise your hands for anyone who is in module 1 and wants to have a go.
You've got to raise hands there.
Yes, I think Sister Nurjahan is in module 2 as well, right?
I think so.
Yes,
No, I'm not. Sorry.
Not in, oh, okay, awesome. Okay, Bismillah. تفضلي.
هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنت أنتما أنتن أنا نحن.
Inshallah.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Okay, anyone else who's just from module 1? Even if you're not confident, have a go. The more you practice, the more confident and better you will know it, inshallah. Okay, Bismillah, Sister Maryam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaykum salam.
هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنتي أنتما أنتن أنا نحن.
MashaAllah, tabarakallah. Good. And Sister Sanika Ahmed.
هو هما هم هي هما هن أنت أنتما أنتم أنتي أنتما أنتن أنا نحن.
Perfect. Good. And we will take any more from module 1 that hasn't had a try. Again, this is the perfect time to practice and to get used to it. And the people that have had a go, keep going in your head, keep going over it again until it becomes faster and faster and clearer.
The reason we're going through this is so you're very familiar with it, and when you see the dama'ir, you're not confused. You're not asking yourself, oh, is this second person, is this person, who am I referring to? We don't want that type of question in your head. This is the reason we're going through this drill. And some things are best learnt rote fashion. So once you've done this, we can move on and you don't need to worry about it again, inshallah. So right now it's going to temporary memory, and the onus will be on you to get it into your long-term memory. So when the revision class happens, this is your second opportunity, and then in your own time, You know, you might sound like a mad person at home shouting out loud, but you know, don't worry. For the sake of Allah, this will be useful, inshallah. And this is one of the tables that we recommend you memorize. And afterward, we'll go through other tables. By doing this, it'll help you with the upcoming tables, inshallah.
Yeah, it's to not memorize this and move on is very, very hard. You need to know this off by heart, inshallah. And these are lessons and revision lessons, and the time in between is the time for you guys to do that, inshallah. Okay, we'll have one more. Someone from module 1 who hasn't spoken. Sister Tahmina.
Assalamu alaikum. So I'll have a go. So huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu.
MashaAllah.
Good, mashallah. Well done. Okay. Yeah, I can't emphasize this enough. Ustaz Sadiq has said the importance of it. It's something that you all just have to keep practicing out loud until it becomes natural and secondhand, inshallah. Okay. Ustaz Sadiq, shall we move on or should we carry on and get through more people?
There's one more wants to, Mrs. Asma, want to have a go.
Sorry, who?
Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu.
Mumtaz. Perfect. Good. Alhamdulillah.
May I request one of the students who know it well to say, just to give an example of how
it should be read.
Exactly, yes.
Okay, module 2 students, it's your turn.
Time to shine.
Anyone from module 2? Quickly do this list.
I can see.
Bismillah.
Bismillah. Huwa, huma, hum, hiya, huma, hunna, anta, antuma, antum, anti, antuma, antunna, ana, nahnu.
Good, mashallah. Brother Fazlu. Brother Fazlu.
What did you say? Excuse me.
Brother Fazlu, can you hear us? Your mic's open. Maybe his mic's not working.
Okay, alhamdulillah. So if Ustad and Dr. Mahmoud was here, he would drill this in so much more than I am. He will be so much more strict on this. And he'd want you to do it like huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, anta antumma antum, anti antumma antunna, ana, like super fast. And until you all did it super fast, he wouldn't be happy. So that's what you should be working towards. Very, very speedy, very quick, and easy. Inshallah, because it's very, very, very important. And you do it in those sets of 3. So huwa huma hum, hiya huma hunna, 3, 3, 3, etc. Okay, bismillah. We will move on to the next lesson, inshallah. This is it at the moment for pronouns. So we covered everything we've covered, and we've covered the 4 different types of pronouns. Okay, attached, detached, relative, and demonstrative. Bismillah. Now the next 3 lessons are going to be a summary and they're really going to help you engage with the Quran in a different way. So they're very, very important. And from these 3 lessons, we will then move on to the Quran and put it into practice, inshallah. So first, so we're going to go through the signs of a noun, the signs of a verb, and the signs of a harf. So how do you tell which word is which? And this is a summary of the signs. So Bismillah, lesson 18. Identify nouns by sight. For a short period in the beginning, students may struggle to identify isms, fi'ls, and harfs, and get mixed up between them. And as you know, sentences, jumlas within the Quran will have a noun, a verb, or a particle, or a mixture between them. So to understand the meaning, it's necessary to be able to identify which word it is which. If you know what is the noun, what is the verb, what is the particle, it will make understanding the sentence a lot easier. So Bismillah, we'll start with nouns. The definition first. Noun is something that is meaningful. It has a meaning within itself. And it's connected to a place, a person, a thing, or any quality. And there is no time period attached. So it's not attached to any tense. It's without tense. And we have, I think, 8 signs. Yes, 8 signs for the noun. This, again, is not something you have to memorize, but you will learn it through practice. And we'll do some more practice in a bit, inshallah. So first, any word that you see alif and lam before will be a noun. We know this from the properties of nouns. And this is the first sign of a noun. So any word that starts with al has to be a noun. It can't be anything else. If the word starts with al, then the last letter will never be tanween as well. That's a side note. So you never have al-Rahmanin or al-Baytin or al-Baytun. You either have tanween or you have al. It's one or the other. So the first one is al. The second one is if there is a preposition, harf or jar, before the word, then it is a noun. So min rabbihim. So min, harf or jar, bi, yeah, bi, bismillah. So ism and Allah, the harf or jar, bi, that harf is the sign that the next word is a noun. And same with the min. It's a sign that the next word is a noun.
So, Ustaz Hamza, would you be able to zoom in a bit, please?
Yeah, sure. So even without knowing the meaning of the next words, if it has a min or if it has a, is that better? Or a bit more? I can do a bit more.
A little bit more. Jazakallah khair.
So any word, no matter what the word is, even if you don't know the meaning of the word, if it has a min before it, or a b before it, or any of the other harf or jars, then you know that the next word is a noun. So that's number 2. Number 3, if there is a tanween on the last letter, then it's also a noun. Tanween meaning the either fathatain, dammatain, or kasratain, any double harakat. So here we have dammatain. Oops, sorry. Funny circle. Dammatain. So if it has a dammatain or tanween, then you know that that word is a noun. So 1 and 3 are very similar. It should probably be. We should probably swap 3 and 2 around because they're more connected. So al or tanween or harf jar. That's 1, 2, 3. 4. If a word is the subject. If the word is the subject of a predicate nominative, so you know this. You have the mubtada and the khabar. So if the word is a mubtada, then it's going to be, and it's in the nominative. Nominative is which state? What state is the nominative? This is the English version of the word. So what state in Arabic is nominative? And you can see the examples here. Everyone can say on the mic or in the chat.
Rafa or marfu.
Yeah, so it'll be marfu. So the English word for marfu is nominative. Nominative. Ustad, could you please fix the mic? Sometimes the sound comes out muffled.
We'll have to deal with that later.
Yeah, sorry, apologies. Apologies for the Zubair. Okay. So whenever you have the subject and it's in the marfu state, then you know it's a noun, even without knowing the meaning of the word. If there is a harf al-nida, a calling letter, can be clear for 4. So with number 4, if you have the subject of a sentence, this you kind of need to know the meaning, because you need to know whether it's the subject or not. So if you know that this word is the subject and it's in the marfu state, then you know that it's a noun. You can't have the mubtada as a verb. So the mubtada will always be a noun. Yeah? So if you have a sentence and it has a mubtada in the marfu state, then it will be a noun. It can't be anything else. Is that clear? Sister Sazana and Brother Fazman? The fact that it is the subject is the sign that it's a noun. I hope it's clear. They haven't said yes, but I'm assuming it's clear. If not, we will come back to it later, inshallah. Number 4, harf nida, the calling letters. So any word that comes after ya will also be a noun, because you're calling a person. Yeah, or you're calling someone. Yeah, so Ya Allah, you're calling Allah, or you're calling a person. Ya Zaid, Ya Muhammad, Ya Zak, etc. Okay, so you know a nominative sentence, it starts with a noun. It's kind of a circular point, but in a jumlat al-ismiya, the mubtada, the subject, will always be a noun. So by virtue of it being the subject, it's a sign that it's a noun. So by virtue of it being a subject is a sign that it's a noun. Number 6, if the last letter of the word has a ta marbuta, the round ta, the sign that it's a feminine. If it's feminine, if it has a ta, feminine ta, then the word is a noun. So any word that you see this ta marbuta at the end, you know that it's a noun. Okay. Number 7, if the word is part of a possessive phrase, mudaf mudaf ilayh. So if there's any mudaf mudaf ilayh, so for example we have Baytullah, then both of them will be nouns. A verb can't be possessed. You can't own a verb. You can only own a noun, and a noun can only be owned. If that makes sense. Baytullahi and Kitabuhu, both will have to be nouns. And then lastly, 8, if the quality of any word is explained, both are nouns. So it's kind of like a special, similar to mudaf mudaf ilayh, it's sifat mawsuf, Zaydun tawilun. So Zayd is the name of something, and if Zayd is described, it has a description or a sifat with it, then both of them are nouns. And that's it for nouns. So we have, so I'm just trying to zoom out a little bit.
Sorry, Ustad, can you just repeat that number 8, please?
Sure. So number 8, similar to number 7, like as in 2 words are connected together. when you have a noun and it's being described, the quality, so the quality of the word is explained, i.e. it has an adjective. So Zaid is tall, or tall Zaid, in this case tall Zaid. Both of them will be nouns. The description, the sifat, has to be a noun as well. So tall, kind, strong, all of these descriptive words will be counted as nouns. Is that clear?
Thank you.
No problem. And that's it for the signs of nouns. Now again, this is something that when you're analyzing the Quran, you will be more familiar with this. So this is theory, but when you get to the practical, you will memorize this theory a lot more easier, inshallah. So now you have your exposure to it, you have your first exposure to it, and you have your reference point. So if you're stuck, you can always go back to this page and check if it ticks any of these boxes, and then you'll know whether it's a noun or not. Okay. Before we move on to verbs, Ustad Sadiq, is there anything you would like to add to this section?
Yeah, I suppose one thing I'd add is, again, there may be a few rules here, but inshallah, you'll see plenty of examples of these rules in play. And as we go through the lessons, some of this will start making sense, inshallah, because you'll see it in action. So first, what we're doing, we're just giving you all the signs which tell you that a word is a noun. Again, going back to what we've been talking about from the beginning, what the categories the words kalimat go into. These are the rules that help, or signs that tell us it's a noun. And you'll see examples, inshallah. So maybe after we've done some lessons, you know, if you're not sure about this, you can come back and refer to this as Ustad Hamza says. But you'll see examples coming up, inshallah. Key takeaway is make sure you understand that. So you may need to go through the recording again. The results that we provide, just go over them. If even after that, you don't, we've got the revision class.
And with this, if you have any one of these signs, then it is a noun. Obviously, you don't need all of them. You can't have all of them. But if any word has any one of these signs, then it is a noun. Okay. Okay, Bismillah, verbs. So again, we're starting to move on to verbs now. We did the attached pronouns, the verb version, and now we're looking at how to identify verbs by sight. And you'll get stronger in this as well. At the moment, it will be a bit tricky because you don't know fully about verbs, but this is your first or second exposure. So inshallah, you'll get stronger and stronger. It's the same as last time. You will struggle in the beginning, but the more you read the Quran and say, okay, this is a verb, this is a noun, this is a harf, you'll get stronger and stronger, inshallah. So verbs. Verbs, definition, the meaning of an action that is connected to a tense with a time period and built in dua. Built in dua meaning the person doing the action, the fa'il, or the doer of the action, fa'il. So in English you would say he did, and it will be two separate words, but in Arabic it will be fa'ala. It will be one word and it means both he and did in one word. Yeah? So fa'ala contains both the word he and did. He being the built-in dua. And here are some signs to identify a verb. So there's certain harfs that only come before a verb, such as qad khalaqa, qad khalaqa al-insanu, etc. So the harf qad, if you see that, then know that the next word is going to be a verb. Okay, it won't ever come before a noun. Then we have sa and sawfa. Sa and sawfa. Sorry.
Hamza, if you don't mind zooming in again, please,
Yeah.
when you can.
So sa and sofa. Sa and sofa is the equivalent of will in English. I will do this. I will go to the shops. I will go to the masjid. Will is the English word for future tense, and in Arabic, and it comes before, whereas in Arabic, it's the same. It becomes before the word, but it's attached. So will or sa and sofa is the same as will. I will go to the shops. Sa'adhab ila al-masjid. I will go to the masjid. Sayakra'u. I will read. Sayakra'u. Or sawfa ta'lamun. You will know. So you will. Future tense. So sa or sofa. The difference between them, between sa and sofa, I believe sa is like an immediate future, like it's going to happen straight next, like very, very soon. And sofa is a further in the future. So sofa ta'lamun, like you're going to know on the day of judgment kind of thing. It's further along in the future, and sa is more immediate. Okay, so sa and sofa. Number 3, if the last letter has a ta sakina. What was the ta sign for nouns? Who remembers the ta sign for nouns?
Round ta.
Sorry, the ta letter. What kind of ta was on nouns?
Round ta for noun.
Ta marbuta.
Ta marbuta. Yeah. Very bad handwriting, but ta marbuta. So that is the feminine word, the feminine letter, the sign of the feminine, that is for nouns. And in Arabic, we have the ta sakina. Ta sakina. So you have the word fa'ala, and then you have fa'alat. So whether it's T or ta or tu or at, this ta sakina is a sign for a verb, and it will be at the end of the verb, same as the ta marbuta for the noun. Number 4, if the last letter of the word has a ta fa'il, this is what I was talking about, so ta'ti or tu. So fa'alta, fa'alti, fa'altu. Or here, darabtu, I hit, darabti, you hit feminine, darabta, you hit masculine. Darabtu, darabti, darabta. So anytime you see this type of T, this type of ta, it will be a verb. Then number 5 and number 6 are commands, amar and nahi. So the command to do something and the command not to do something. Idrab, idrib, and la tadrib. Hit and don't hit. If'al, la taf'al. Do it and don't do it. Number 7, if the word has any letters from a, ta, ya, and nun. It's not this word. That's this word is these 4 letters individually. So af'alu, taf'alu, yaf'alu, naf'alu. And we will get to the meanings of that later on. But this is at the beginning. And these 4 letters, I would say, are very important actually. They're the alimat al-fi'l mudari. So these letters tell you that the verb is future tense, but we'll come to that later. So alif, ta, and nun.
Sorry, Hamza, I have a question.
Sure.
For number 6, so we know that la tadrib linguistically means don't hit, right? On there it says if the word is a negative command. So would it only mean if there's a la before it, or is there any other ones that we need to look out for as well?
At the moment, just concentrate on la. So
the fact that there's a la there, that's what makes it a negative command, right?
Yeah. It's a la.
Thank you.
Okay, number 8. If the harf jazim, so remember we have harf jar, it makes the next word kasra. this half makes the next word sukoon, jazim. So if the harf jazim comes before a word, then it's a verb. So you can have like la, the negative command is la tadrib. La is also a harf jazim. See, la tadrib. It makes the end of the verb into a sukoon here, sukoon. So all of these harfs, they do the same thing. They make the end of the word the last letter on the end of the word a sukoon. So lam tadhab, etc. La tadhab. All of them will make harf al-jazm. For now, you don't need to memorize them. You'll see them come up as, again, the more we go through and analyze the Quran, you'll see them pop up and you'll learn it through practice. At the moment, just know that, like, have your short-term memory that these exist. Harf al-jazm will indicate a verb. And then lastly, number 9, if the last letter of the word is lam or noon, tawkeed, to be a W or ta'keed, then it is a verb. So this is for emphasis, lam or noon for emphasis. Okay. If the last letter of the word has lam or noon ta'keed, then it is a verb. And when you're familiar with verbs later on, the fact that it has a noon at the end like this, you'll recognize it, inshallah. But for now, just know that. Should it be tashdid? Tashdid, emphasis. Ta'keed is emphasis. It's like, yeah, it's another form of emphasis, like thumma and other versions. To add the lam or noon at the end is a way of balagha to do emphasis. Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, the noon at the end, so like the extra noon will form the shadda if it's a noon at the end. Okay, let's get rid of these. Bismillah.
Is it like number 9 to say is lame ta'kid and nun sakila?
I'm not sure about noon sakila, but you can say lam and noon ta'kid.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure about the
I think the name is called extra lam at the beginning and extra nun at the end.
At the end, yeah.
Yeah, it's just called lame ta'kid and nun sakila.
Sakila, okay.
Yeah, both is double emphasize.
Yes.
And that can only be done to a verb.
Yes. Yeah. It won't come on a noun or a harf. It has to be a verb. So these are the nine signs of a verb. Again, this is your first introduction to it. And when we practice going through the Quran and analyzing it, the more you practice, the more these will become second nature, inshallah. Okay. Ustad Sadiq, anything to add before we move on to harf?
I think just due to some of the questions that have been asked, the only thing I'd say is we'll see examples with these in use. For example, the harf jazim, we've got a whole lesson on that. The lam ta'keed, we've got a lesson where we go through a table with examples of that. So don't worry about these too much. This is an introduction to some of these signs. Key thing is for you to recognize them, and we'll see examples later, inshallah. And yeah, and there are courses that use different terminology, so don't worry about that. The key thing is if you understood what we're trying to convey, that's the most important thing.
I think generally verb means an action. When it indicates an action related to time, that's the main indication to identify. And then we are given a list of 9 identification to make it easy, basically.
Yeah, these are signs.
Yeah.
Alimat al-fi'l. Alimat al-fi'l, signs of the verb. Okay, Bismillah. So, how many signs do you think there are for harf? We've got 8 for the noun and 9 for the verb. How many? You can guess how many there are for the harf.
Less.
10.
10. Faisal picked 10. Brother picked less than 8 and 9. Okay, one more guess, and then we'll have a look.
I will say less.
Less than 9 and 10. One more guess from the students. I didn't look ahead. Good. Or not good. 6. Okay, we'll leave it at that. 6. So harf has no signs. Well, harf, the sign that is a harf is that there's no signs for fi'il and there's no signs for ism. So if you don't find the 8 in the noun and you don't find the 9 in the fi'il, then harf is what's left over. So that's how harfs work. No, baby, not yet. Sorry. Sorry. Bismillah. So yeah, harf is without any signs, or the fact that it doesn't have a sign of noun and it doesn't have a sign of verb. Bismillah. First, the meaning of harf. Harf has no defined meaning. It only has a meaning in context. And that's similar in English. So for example, we say, I'm going to get in the car, but you would say, I'm going to go on the train, or I'm going on the bus. But you don't say on the car. So depending on which vehicle, you would say in or on, even though all of them are in. So verbs, particles, harf in Arabic is the same. It doesn't have a fixed meaning. It depends on the circumstance. And then we have the phrase. Sentences are made of nouns, verbs, and particles. Nouns are the names of things. Verbs provide information. And particles complete the meaning. Signs of harf. There are no signs of harf if we don't see alimat al-ism or alimat al-fi'l on a word, then this is the sign that it is actually a harf. It always precedes a word and then never follows the word. So it always comes first. Harf. There are approximately 80 particles in the entire Arabic language. These are the 10 most common types. So we're going to go through the 10 most common types. I'll zoom in a little bit. So, harf al-jar, the prepositions that make the next word into a kasra, or into the majroor state, like min, ila, ala, alay, ilay. They will make the next word jar. They will have a kasra at the end. The number 2, harf mushabba bil fi'l. They resemble verbs and we'll come to them later. They have their own classes and lessons all about inna and its sisters, inna wa akhawataha. So we will learn about that later on, inshallah. Conjunctions in English, and then therefore they carry on a sentence. So you have a complete sentence, and then to further the sentence you will use a conjunction. In Arabic is al-haruf al-atf, haruf al-atf, and this is something that you've seen many times in the Quran. Wa, fa, and thumma, fattaqallah, etc. So all of these carry on the sentence. Then again we have haruf al-nida, calling. The calling word is a sign for what? Is it a sign for a verb or a noun? If this comes before it,
it's noun.
It's a sign for a noun. Good. but the actual calling particle, the actual word ya is a huruf. Okay?
Yeah.
So after it is a noun, but the word itself, ya, is a huruf, a harf, harf al-nida. Good. Particles for answers. Huruf al-ijab, jawab, questions. Nam and bala, to answer yes, basically. Nam and bala. And then the negative versions, huruf al-rida, la and kalla. So answers to questions yes and no, the answers are, they're not a verb, they're not a noun, they're a harf. Yes and no, nam and la. Particles used as extra. Al-huruf az-ziyada. Yeah, extra particles. Min and la. And we'll come to that later as well, inshallah. Gerund particles. And similar to inna, we'll have a whole class on this. Interrogative particles or huruf al-istifham. Like these are the words to ask a question. Ahad bait, is this a house? Kaifa, ayu, ma, lima. All words that you use to ask questions. And then lastly, the conditional particles. So I will pass the test if I study. In man ma ila. You have, it connects two sentences with a condition. So these are the categories or 10 common categories of prepositions. Number 5, what is the meaning of bala? Bala means yes. Number 6, kalla means no. Kalla, very common.
The title, harfur or rida?
Rida, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, rida. And there you have it. So again, this is not something we're going into detail. We're just introducing you to the signs. And when we, we're going to have a whole classes on each individual points. And the more that we break down the Quran and go to the Quran and try and decipher whether this is a noun or verb or harf in our own time, the more you'll become stronger on this, inshallah. And we'll do some practice now, inshallah. Again, Ustad Sadiq, anything to add before I move on?
Yeah, and I'm conscious we only got 20 minutes before your next part. I suppose maybe what might be useful for the students are the key takeaways.
Yeah, okay, so again, takeaways for the list of harf is mainly for this class is just being aware of them. You don't have to memorize them. The more you're going to see in the next section how we kind of break down or analyze the Quran. The more you do that, the more this will become stronger. This is just the theory for the ongoing lessons, inshallah. I would say that's the main takeaway. It's just your introduction. So don't worry too much. There's a lot of information, a lot of signs for harf verbs, particles, and nouns. But the more you practice, the more you do practicals of it, inshallah, the easier it will become. And on that, sorry, you was
yeah, Ustad Hamza. I don't think they got lesson 20 PDF copies, so she's asking for it.
Okay, that will be sent after.
This will be sent tonight, so not to worry.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm going to stop sharing now, and I'm going to move on to Surah Baqarah, and we're going to have some practicals, inshallah.
While Ustad Hamza is bring that up, yeah, those who found it a little too much, best thing to do is go over the recording, or you got the YouTube videos as well, which are more succinct, and accompany that with the PDF documents with your studies, inshallah. Just go over it again, as we said during our intro, sometimes we need to repeat something. So by reading the same thing over and over again, it will help, or watching the videos over and over again, it will help, inshallah. And just practice.
Ustad, there will be a quiz after this, isn't it? Will we send a quiz questions, the multiple questions?
Yes, that will come afterwards.
That's right. So everyone will have that tonight, inshallah.
So for now, we're just going to have a go. When will the PF be sent for today's lesson? Tonight, inshallah. Is it tonight or tomorrow?
It's hoping to be having tonight. If not, it will be tomorrow. Inshallah.
Okay, so Bismillah. Everyone can see the screen. We're using tanzil.net. It's a very good website to use later on. And you'll see why. But for now, we just want to analyze. So, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Okay, the first line, Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Someone break down how many words are in this sentence and tell me what are they. Are they verbs, nouns, or particles? You can put your hands up, whoever wants to have a go, or I will pick at random. But have a go. Again, this is a safe space to...
I think first hand with Sister Rima.
Okay, Bismillah, Sister Rima.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam.
So I think it's because we don't know the meaning of these three words. Actually, I don't know, it might be one word. I'm just thinking now, but it's a particle basically. If it is one, then it's one particle. If it is three words, then there's three particles. That one's unknown because of the...
Oh, not Alif Lam Mim. From the beginning, from Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim.
Oh, okay. I think there's three words there.
Okay, which words? What
So it's Bismillah, ar-Rahman, and ar-Rahim.
Okay.
Okay,
and give me their signs and what you think they are.
Bismillah. This one is particle. I would say Bismillah. Actually, Bismillah is three words.
Good.
In the name of
Good.
Allah, yeah. So there's two particles and then one noun. Allah is a noun.
Yeah. Why is it a noun?
It's the name of Allah.
Name. Good. It's a proper name.
Yeah, proper name. Okay. And Ar-Rahman is actually, that could also be two, because the most merciful is Ar-Rahman. That's what it means, right?
Yeah, that's what it means. But think about the signs.
Particle. Now I'm confused. I think because it ends with... No, I'm stuck here actually.
What does it start with? That's how you pronounce it, but look at the actual word.
You mean al?
Yes, al.
Oh, okay. When you sorry, yeah, okay then. So that is a particle. Because it's got a sukoon. If I was to pronounce it on its own, it would be a sukoon, right? The lamb. Is that why?
So
Al is a noun.
Yeah. So Ar-Rahman in English you would say it's the most merciful. But in Arabic, how would you? Is it one word or two words or three or?
It's actually, I would say one word. It's Ar-Rahman if you say it together.
Good. And if it has al at the beginning, can al go on a verb or does it have to go on a noun?
It would have to go on a noun, I would say.
Mumtaz. So Ar-Rahman, because of the sign of al, is a noun. So we have two nouns so far. We have Allah and we have Ar-Rahman. What about Ar-Rahim?
I would say I would apply the same rules on that as well. Because al, it's got al again. Good. That would be a particle. And because it's got al before the there, then the Rahman would be the noun. Sorry, Rahim would be noun.
Yeah.
because Rahim.
So one word with the al is because remember al is definite or ma'rifa or nakira, right? So
Okay.
it's one word, noun, because of the al. So good. So Allah, Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim, 3 nouns. What about Bismi?
Name.
How
In
many?
the name. In the
how many-
name of.
Yeah. So how many words in Arabic?
In Arabic, I would say there's just one.
So in this case, we have 2 words. We have the
Okay.
B. Because remember, what counts as a word? If you remember Jumla, the kalimat, what are the 3 types of words? We have nouns. Nouns are words, verbs are words, and harf particles are counted as words. Yeah?
Okay.
So Bismi, you have 2 words, B and Ism.
Oh, yes, yeah, okay, yeah, I get it. It's me.
And because Ism has the word B before it and it's turned into kasra, that means it's a harf jar. So the ba is a harf jar, so that means it's a particle. And Ism, the word after a harf jar has to be a noun or a verb.
Verb.
Close.
No.
Noun.
No?
Noun. So we have in this we have 1 particle and we have 1, 2, 3, 4 nouns. 1 particle and 4 nouns. Good,
Okay.
Alhamdulillah. Good. Well done.
So Hamza, can I just add something which might cause some confusion?
Sure.
I don't know, can't remember
I
if
mean-
we've covered this already. The word ism here, ismun, originally, and for bismi, originally the word was ismun. And here the alif has been removed, so it becomes bismi. So the ba at the beginning is the harf. Then you have ismun, which has become bisim because of the harf jar.
Yeah, we'll come to that later as well.
Later, inshallah, yeah.
Okay,
But good, well done, well done. I'm very, very happy. May Allah increase your Ameen.
Ameen.
Okay, Sister Noor Jahan, you had your hand up next. So Alif Lam Mim, I want to ignore this part for now and move on to ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى للمتقين. If you can do the whole ayah.
Ustad, is it possible to maximize the zoom?
Zoom? Let me try. Is that better?
Yeah, better.
Okay. ذلك الكتاب لا ريب فيه هدى.
ذلك is a noun because it's got li, حرف جار. لكل noun because it's got the al. لا ريب, la because it's a verb because it has the la at the front before it. فيه is a فيه is a jar particle. Huda is got tanween, so it's a noun. Huda lil is got the lil, so it's jar and ma'rifa, so it will be sorry, so lil is the jar and the noun, so the word is noun.
Okay, Alhamdulillah, that was good. Let's go a bit slowly and go to the beginning again. That was good. It was very good. So ذلك.
ذلك is a noun.
What kind of noun is it? How do we know it's a noun?
Because it's got li. Li means for. Li is a jar.
No.
No.
Think about the lessons that we just covered. The pronouns. What type of pronouns are there? We have relative, demonstrative.
Attached pronoun.
No.
No. Sorry, this is detached pronoun.
So we have attached and we have detached and we have relative and demonstrative. if I say, what does ذلك mean?
That.
That. Good.
Yeah,
So if I say that, what do I have to do? If I say that,
that is the demonstrative pronoun.
Mumtaz. So ذلك is a demonstrative.
Yeah. ذلك, and then ذلك الكتاب is the noun because it has the al.
Perfect.
La raiba. I think is the verb because it has the la. Is the and the verb is negative command.
Oh, okay. So that's a good try, and you're correct in your thinking. But this you can look at the meaning. So there's no order not to do anything. So if we look at the meaning, we have Sahih International version. Those are upon right guidance from their Lord, and it is those. This is the book about which there is no doubt. So la raib means no doubt. So it's not a negative command. That was a good that was consistent. So well done. So this would be now la raib. This is nafi and jins. We'll come back to that, so we can ignore this part for now. But la raib is a noun. So fihi, what's fihi?
Fihi is a noun.
Right.
In
think of the signs.
Okay, so it's a verb because there is no sign of noun.
Okay, so first break it up. You have two words here. You have fi and you have he. Fi and he.
Okay, so fi is the jar.
Yes.
And he is a noun. He's attached pronoun.
Mumtaz. So fihi. Perfect. So this is the attached pronoun. Well done. Good. Hudan lil muttaqin.
Hudan, because of the tanween, fathatain, I would say it's a noun.
Perfect.
Lil is it a jar there?
Li.
Lil, because of jar, it would be a noun.
Perfect. Good. Alhamdulillah. Well done. I want to. Yeah, sure.
Go on. Yeah, I'll let you finish, then I can add.
No, I was going to move on to the vocab because we need to do.
Okay, yeah, this time. I'll just quickly add a couple of things. So dhalika, this is where memorizing the Arabic terminology comes in use. So what's that Arabic for the dhalika? What's what category does that come under? We said
masculine.
No, sorry, brother Dr. Shajara said it. The word I was looking for is ismul ishara. So if you remember this terminology straight away, ism, it tells you it's a noun. And a lot of these terminologies that we teach it really helps you. So I know some of us are more familiar with English grammar, so demonstrative pronoun, etc. But since we're learning Arabic, let's try and learn the terminology as well. So ism al-ishara, dhalika is ism al-ishara, therefore this is an ism. Done. We can move on. And just want to add with lil muttaqin. So you're right, harf jar of li, then al muttaqin, again, something we need to keep an eye out. The alif of hamzatul wasl alif has been removed for al muttaqin. So things like that, you keep an eye out. So, but you're right, this is an ism as well. That's it for me. One last thing. What we've learned today, those who are comfortable with it, it'd be good for you to try this yourself to strengthen your understanding of these topics when you go in your own time. We've given you the tools. You can go to tanzil.net and try this yourself, inshallah. Back to you.
Alhamdulillah. If you look at the next line, you have alladina. What was alladina? What was the name for الذين? ذلك is اسم
الذين
الإشارة.
feminine اسم
So the
الإشارة.
so the
اسم
اسم
الموصول.
الموصول.
اسم الموصول. So is it a noun or a verb? Is it an ism or a fa'il?
It's the name says
pronoun.
ism.
Ism. It's a very, very nice point that Ustad Sadiq pointed out. When you learn the Arabic grammar terminology, it becomes very easy to break it down and to analyze it. Alhamdulillah. Okay, so I'm going to stop sharing here, and I just want to quickly go to the vocab that we should have memorized. We didn't do the Muslim chart. We were supposed to do 2 weeks ago before we took the break. I remember we said we're going to memorize the attached pronouns and the Muslim chart. So inshallah, you can do that in the revision class. Right now, I'm going to stop sharing and move to the vocab list. Okay. Bismillah. Ustaz Sadiq, should I have the vocab? Should I let them see it? Yeah. Okay.
I usually don't, as
Okay.
otherwise, they can read from the screen. I should be able to recall it. Pull out the words and ask them for.
Okay. Okay, Bismillah. So we have done page 1. We've done page 2. We should have done page 3 and page 4. And we're on page 5, right? I think.
Yeah, should be on 5 at least.
Yeah. Okay. B. Preposition be. What does be mean?
With.
Within.
Good. Alhamdulillah. An. Ain noon. An.
From, to.
Yeah. And it's about.
About. Mumtaz. So an about something. تكلم عن نفسك. Tell me about yourself. About. An easy one. Fi.
In.
In.
Good.
It can fi can also be at.
Yeah. So all of the prepositions can change. Again, depending on the context. So they can mean other things as well. Ka. Ka was a factor.
Like.
Like.
So later كمثل شيء. That ka is like li.
For.
So like we saw in Surah Baqarah, lil muttaqin, for the conscious of Allah or the mindful of Allah. Min.
From.
Okay, how about hatta?
Until.
Until. So hatta, until something. Ma'a. With. Okay, good. Let's say, let's go a bit harder now. Lima.
Who for? For who?
For who, yes.
For what?
For what?
For what, yes.
Yeah. For what or for which?
I thought it's Liman.
Kama. So again, these are like two.
Kama. How many?
Just
No,
as.
no.
Just
Kama.
as.
Yeah, just
Kama
as.
Hibbutallah.
Kama.
You want?
Let's go with yeah.
Yeah, wallet. Oh boy.
Oh, well.
Yeah, the calling someone. It's like saying, hey, Muhammad. Hey,
Yes.
Yeah, Muhammad. Good. Okay, Alhamdulillah, we'll go to page 6.
Where are these pages, by the way? Like, oh.
Sorry. So you should have had a PDF of these pages separate. It's like 85% or 95%.
No, you've got the 85 words that are found in the Quran.
Yeah, so it's from that list.
Yeah, it's the 85% one.
It's from that list. Okay, let's go to Junood. What does janud
Forces,
mean?
army.
Yeah, army. It's the soldiers or the
Yeah.
forces. And then we can have in. What does in mean? Alif nun. Or Hamza nun.
If not.
Yeah, so inshallah. If Allah wills, inshallah. In. Good. La'alla.
Perhaps.
Perhaps. Or so that, or yeah. So la'allakum tattaqun. Lakinna.
But.
However.
But.
Yeah.
Good. Alhamdulillah, these are pretty clear without because they're harf and small words, they don't have tons of different meanings. Al, what does al mean?
The. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim.
Okay, I'm conscious of time to put in practice what we have learned regarding signs. Sorry,
That's a response to a question.
Okay, so it's past now. Just to last recap what we have covered today. We have covered detached pronouns, which is huwa, humma, hum, hiya, humma, hunna. We've covered detached pronouns, and we've covered the signs of verbs, nouns, and harfs, particles. Okay, your homework from today is to again memorize huwa, humma, hum, hiya, humma, hunna. This should be able to roll off your tongue very easily, and you should know even the other way. If I say, okay, what is or if you're talking to a group of females, what is the pronoun that is used? So if there's a group of females that you're talking to, you'll know that it's antunna. If you're talking to one singular man, you would say anta. Yeah, so you know them and you know what they refer to. And then in terms of practice for the signs of nouns, verbs, and harf, this is what we did with Surah Al-Baqarah. Just go through Surah Al-Baqarah and work out, is this a noun, is this a verb, is this a particle, and you have these 3 pages to refer to, inshallah. Okay, Alhamdulillah, I think we shall end it there. If there's any last words from Ustad Sadiq?
No, Alhamdulillah, you've summarized the homework, so that's it really.
Alhamdulillah.
The other homework is the quiz question.
You also have the quiz. You have, so it's starting to get more serious. You have to put more time to it, and anything that is worth something, you need to work hard for. So don't let it scare you. Don't let shaitan scare you. Put efforts in and ask Allah for protection from that, and to keep you flying on this path.
Ameen.
Yeah, and may Allah protect us and help us and give us beneficial knowledge.
Ameen.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.